Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Marvel Legends Extremis Iron Man action figure set by Hasbro. This set is number 3 from the first series of the Return of Marvel Legends, which contains the Build-A-Figure of Terrax. This set was first released in early 2012, and I found the set at a Toys R Us and paid $17.99 for this set. Taking a look at Iron Man here, you can see this is the Extremis version of the Iron Man suit, and next to him is the Build-A-Figure part for Terrax, which is the right leg there. And I really do like the packaging style of these Return of Marvel Legends figures. It's actually quite neat and is very comic booky in feel. You have here artwork by Ed McGuinness at the top, and his particular art style that he used here is very reminiscent of the Bronze Age style of art. At least that's how I feel about it. Just the way the figures are drawn, it's actually pretty neat. Also, in the background, you could see in comic book panel form other figures from the series, and pretty cool. On the side here, we have a numbering scheme for the Build-A-Figure parts for Terrax, and number 3 here is, of course, the leg of Terrax that's included with this set. Over here, we have a picture of Iron Man. Actually, it's the same as the one in the front, but expanded to reveal more. And we have here on the side, collect all 7 figures. You really don't need 7 figures for the Terrax Build-A-Figure, but they do want you to collect all 7 anyways. And we have a nice description, or at least a brief one, of the Extremis Iron Man. And down here, we have the figures from this series. We have the Build-A-Figure of Terrax right there. We have Steve Rogers, Hope Summers, Extremis Iron Man, Claw, Constrictor, Ghost Rider, and Thor. And Thor is the figure that does not include the Build-A-Figure part. Now there are variants in this series. We have here Steve Rogers in a variant costume and the photonic shield. There's a variant of the Extremis Iron Man painted in blue, and the variant for Ghost Rider where he's colored in reddish flame instead of the bluish flame, excuse me. And this particular set also contains the Tales of Terrax part 3 of 6. Now we'll be right back and have the Extremis Iron Man here out of the package. Okay, we're back and we have the Extremis Iron Man here out of the package, and it's a pretty good figure. It's a nice new design for a Marvel Legend and has some good things going for it as well as some minuses, and we'll get into that when we get into the figure. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the items that came included with this figure set. First up, we have here Tales of Terrax, number 3 of 6, and let me just turn that down a bit. And this particular Tale of Terrax is associated with the Dazzler here, and you can see a description right there of part 3 of 6 of the Tales of Terrax. And down below, if you want to know more about this particular tale, go ahead and take a look at Dazzler number 11. On the other side here, we have the parts list, and over here is the Extremis Iron Man with the right leg of Terrax. And let's go ahead and take a look at that Build-A-Figure part, and that's the right leg of Terrax here. And it's actually pretty nice. Really pretty good sculpt here on the leg. I really like the definition that they sculpted into the leg here. And you got the peg hole here to plug into the hip. And of course you have the boot here and the excellent ankle pivot on here. I really like the ankle pivot on this figure. inherited from the Marvel Universe line. It's a very nice articulation point there. And you also have a swivel here at the calf, and of course the double hinge at the knees. Pretty cool. And one step closer to building my Terrax Build-A-Figure. So this is the part that comes with the Extremis Iron Man, the right leg of Terrax. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Extremis Iron Man here, and it's a pretty nice design. Now this is a new design overall, pretty much a new sculpt and mold for a Marvel Legend, and it's actually pretty nice. It's very clean. It's a really cool design. There are a little bit of issues with it. I have, and it's really the articulation of certain areas. And but first, let's go ahead and take a look at this figure here. And starting with the head sculpt, you can see it's got the newer designed helmet there. Well, not brand new, since the Extremis storyline is not current, but just in the recent history of Iron Man, though. And you can see the paint application is very nice with the gold on the red there, and I believe it's also painted red. It's not just cast in red, but painted in red as well. And you got the nice gloss finish on there. Pretty nice. The only thing I have an issue with is some QC here. The lining on the black around the mouth here missed just slightly the groove on his left hand side, so the black lining here is in the red area of his helmet, not in between the red and gold there. So but otherwise the rest of the panel lining on the mouth area is pretty good. Would have been nice to have panel line that triangle there on the helmet, and throughout the rest of the figure to add a little bit more definition, because you can see right here on the torso there's no panel lining here, but you can see the grooves, either black or gold. I think it's black in the comics. Would have been nice. You have panel lines everywhere on this figure, and it's just unpainted, and makes it look a little less than stellar, but it's if you wanted to, I guess you could do it yourself, but would have been nice if Hasbro had done it for us. But it's pretty cool still on the sculpt, and you can see the arc reactor there, and it's showing up as almost a whitish color, but it's really a yellow color, along with the repulsor on his hand. That's supposed to be a bright or light yellow, but it's showing up as white on my video screen here. You can see it on the hand too. But you can see some of the gold on here, which looks gold on the screen, on the arm here and on the legs, and it's done very nicely, and nothing, no issues with the paint on there. And you can see the sculpt of the figure is also nicely done. You can see some of the quote tech of the armor, although from what I understand, the armor comes from his bone marrow. I haven't followed the Extremis storyline, but it actually comes from within, and then produces a very thin-like but very strong shell of an armor, which leads into a question about his height. I've seen videos where some folks are thinking that this Iron Man is a little bit shorter than he should be, and I don't mind, actually, because based on the what I know of the Extremis storyline, that from the armor that comes from within him, and produces a very thin shell, but a very strong shell of armor. So the height to me is not that big a deal to me. And just for size comparisons, I have my favorite Iron Man figure, and that's the movie Mark IV. And if you line them up, they're pretty much almost the same height. And with the Mark IV, that's more bulkier armor, so it's not that bad height-wise on here. So, but just really taking a look at the figure overall, I think it's pretty good, and it's a very nice figure. Now, going into the articulation for the Extremis Iron Man here, the head goes all the way around, and does go up and down very well. I really love the upward movement there, especially for flying poses. And that combined with the torso makes a great posability for flying on there. And the head does it go side to side? Not really, side to side. The armor, the shoulder armor here is clipped in and can move up and down on here, which is nice. And it's much nicer than the Iron Man movie shoulder armors, in that the pegs are larger and the peg holes are deeper, so it's not prone to just flying off at the slightest touch on there, so that's kind of cool. The only thing is that the shoulder armor here is a flatter color. It would have been nice if that was glossy like the rest of his armor, but oh well. The arms do go all the way around. Now you have to move it a little bit with the shoulder armor edges here running into the body. And the arms do go out and in. There are double hinge joints at the elbow, which is nice. The hand can go all the way around at the wrist, and can go in and out as well. This hand here is a pretty much a closed fist, while this hand is opened for shooting of his repulsor there. The torso can go all the way around, and can go down pretty far, up and back pretty far, which is nice, and can go side to side when you have the upper torso turn there. The power pods here, which is movable, which is really nice, so it can go it can swing all the way around. I think it's on like a pegged into the side, but it can go all the way around to allow the articulation of the leg here. Unfortunately, the leg at the hip is on a hinge swivel joint, which is limited in the articulation due to the sculpt of the lower torso here. So the movement of this power pod is sort of useless for at least this leg, because the leg can go out about only that high, and down and back, and only about that far out to the side, due to the sculpt of the lower torso. So maybe if we could shave some of that off, it'd allow a freer articulation of the leg. That would be nice. The thigh has a swivel, nicely sculpted swivel there, that goes all the way around. Double joints at the knee, and a hinge swivel joint for the foot, which is rather limited, and not because of the wrappings here around the leg. These are actually quite soft, where it'll allow the articulation. I'm not sure why the foot cannot go up or down any higher. It's not because of this back wrapping here, but that's about as far as the foot will go, up or down, and it does go all the way around. So would have been nicer to use this articulation joint for this foot, but I'm thinking it's because of a first wave figure. They did not do that with this figure. But being a new sculpt, it does give me pause of why they didn't use the new articulation. But anyways, this overall, it's a greatly designed figure, a nice new design for Marvel Legend Iron Man, to have the Extremis armor here, and just marred a little bit by articulation limitations on the hip and foot. But overall, very nice figure. Nice figure to have. This is my casual peek into the Marvel Legends Extremis Iron Man. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.